Hi, so if you have missing houses in your birth chart, then you need to look at your chart from a whole sign perspective because everybody has all 12 signs and houses in their chart, but depending on the house system that you use, it might skip some houses. Like if you use a quadrant based house system, which Placidus is the most common house system, and Placidus has a lot of house interceptions, houses can be skipped. So I'll show you the difference. This is my birth chart in Placidus. As you can see, Taurus, which is my 11th house, the entire sign of Taurus gets skipped. And it's confusing because my 10th house starts in Aries and it ends in Gemini. Like what do you mean that my entire house gets encompassed? That sign, and especially if you have a placement in a sign that does not necessarily have a house, like it doesn't make any sense because me having my lot of fortune in Taurus, how do I have a placement in Taurus but there's not technically Taurus in my chart? Like what? And then same thing with my fifth house. My fifth house is intercepted. So it starts in Libra and then it ends in Sagittarius. The entire sign of Scorpio is contained within my fifth house. That don't make sense. Whereas you see, if we look at my birth chart from a whole sign house perspective, every sign has a house. Every sign and house are 30 degrees, and it's clean cut, it's easy, everything is accounted for. So I recommend, when learning astrology and trying to figure out your chart, that you should look at your chart from a whole sign perspective because everything is clean cut and simple. You can see that every house has a sign and everything is 30 degrees, and you can see where your specific angles are. So the ascendant and descendant will always be in the first and seventh house, but your midheaven, which is the angle that represents your career, your public image, your reputation, if you use the quadrant based houses, the cusps of the quadrants are the starts of the angular houses. So for example, the start of the ascendant is your first house, the start of the fourth house is the IC, the start of the seventh house is the descendant, and the start of the 10th house is the midheaven. But if you're looking at your chart from a whole sign perspective, your midheaven can be anywhere in the top hemisphere of your chart, so anywhere between the 7th to 12th houses. And same thing, your IC could be anywhere between the first and the third. I mean, not the third, the first and the third, but the first and the sixth house. So yeah, look at your chart from a whole sign perspective. And if anybody has any questions about astrology or learning your chart or understanding your chart, book with me. I currently have a special going on right now. Link in bio to book.